So, one of my last videos on feminism became the most controversial one. The amount of dislikes was unusually high. And it's not like it matters. In fact, very few of my videos get a lot of views, and I've already been upset about it for months before it even happened. I've already blamed myself for not making good enough content, and I almost got over myself now, and I'm going to keep on making videos because I like doing so. But it got me thinking, the fact that this one video that I thought was kind of a very commonly accepted notion, at least in the leftist world, so to speak, concerning feminism and double oppression. I thought that was something that most people were very familiar with. I thought that communists knew that they were feminists by default, and possibly the hate, the dislikes came from the people who probably don't know much about neither feminism nor communism. Or maybe there is another reason why. I don't honestly care. But thinking that if you start speaking about feminist issues from a lens of class consciousness, and realizing that it may bring more questions rather than answers, shows that fundamentally many people misunderstand what oppression is, and they somehow think it's a zero-sum game. They think that if women receive more rights, then by default men are going to get less rights, and that is because there is no unity in people's minds of the idea that we all are oppressed when the mode of production only cares about profit. And obviously, the mode of production can't care or not care because it's not a person, but we like to personify things, and I do personally enjoy that, so I will keep on doing that. So, so the fact that people cannot disengage these ideas in their head are really concerning and upsetting, and on the other hand, they're kind of funny if you think about us fighting against each other. A working person fighting against another working person, isn't that what they want? And by they, I don't mean any particular group, but bourgeoisie. Because these are the only they that can actively oppose the proletarian class to which we all belong. If you don't think you're proletarian, then think about whether you will be able to sustain yourself without working. If you will be able to sustain yourself without working, where did your wealth come from? Did you inherit it? Did you earn it? And either way, most likely, you either are a part of the bourgeoisie or you just refuse to accept and acknowledge that you are a part of the working class. I find the dichotomy or the dialectic of bourgeoisie and proletariat extremely helpful, and I think I've mentioned that in a few of my other videos, and I know there is a lot of discourse happening about how reductive that is. I think that fundamentally, in the grand scheme of things, it's helpful, because if you understand it's not just us versus them, but you understand it's the majority of the people suffering because the select few have somehow gained access to the means of production, then you realize that this isn't supposed to be much of a fight. We're supposed to just have a say in our lives without considering those people's preferences, beliefs, whatever. We can demand what belongs to us already. And the fact that we don't do that is what is astoundingly upsetting. And whenever you bring that up, then the question of the revolution comes up. And one day I'm going to talk about this, hopefully. But for now, I'm just going to leave it be that capitalism cannot be reformed, and that the revolution is not necessarily going to create a bloodbath. It is the reactionary forces always who create a bloodbath. They are the ones who are fighting not to give up the usurped power that they took away from the people. It isn't the people who are, trying to avenge themselves and kill everyone in sight. No. People want the means of production to be returned to them to live their life like people and not like slaves and not like livestock. We, the people, want our power back. That's it. We don't want to fight against each other. We don't want to fight against the bad people, the evil people. If people who now control the means of production, if they join forces with us, great. Wonderful. Let them join. But historically, we see that they don't want to do that. They just want to convince us that something's wrong with us, something's wrong with men, something's wrong with women, something's wrong with marginalized peoples, etc. So they want to do that so that we are distracted continuously by infighting and by caring about little unnecessary details of our differences, etc., so that we cannot claim our means of production. So that is another rant about feminism and about the working class. And if you disagree, I want to hear what your arguments are. I have made myself familiar with many of the arguments, and I haven't yet found any that are convincing enough. So if you have an argument against that is logical, let me know. But if it's not logical, then I'm not going to listen to it.